got the hugelkultur over here. What that is, that's a bunch of wood. Okay, you take green wood, put it towards the bottom. You take the more dry wood and you put it towards the top. And I've been building a pile of wood here for some time with a bunch of the old pine that I took out of the house. Last fall, we took and put some not so good soil directly on top of the wood. Then we took some garden soil and put it on top of that. This is the garden soil here, or not garden soil, whatever that was. We bought like a triaxle. But this stuff is like not that great, but it's gonna, the theory is it's gonna mix in with the rotting wood and we're gonna create something pretty decent. But the idea was we went and bought some garden soil this time, and this stuff is like, you know, beautiful black. And so basically we took and took an appropriate size container. Sometimes we used 5-gallon buckets that were filled to the top. We moved stuff, put the bucket on top of the soil upside down and put wood chips around it and then removed the bucket. So basically the tomato plants are going to be here in full sun in 5 gallons of garden soil, brand new garden soil, and there's going to be the hugelkultur base under that. So we're hoping that this is going to be a pretty darn good garden this year. I don't know exactly what she's got in there, all kinds of different stuff. But so basically she's got a lot of tomatoes, and she's got herbs, and she's got cucumbers and yellow squash and zucchini squash, and oh my gosh, I don't even know. She's been out here planting. That's Anne Marie when I say she's been. She's got more stuff over here. You know, this was just kind of thrown together. Well, the wood's been getting stacked up strategically for a couple of years, but the soil was just put on it. So anyhow, she just did some planting, I think, and I could be wrong. I planted several fruit trees, but none of them lived. I think this is a pomegranate. I'm hoping it is. If not, I'll cut it down. But got that tree, cut the grass today. So we come over here. I think this could be a pear tree, I'm not sure. Okay, but this is definitely a fruit tree here. Let's see if we can get a picture of some of the fruit. I don't know, I can't really tell if I'm getting it properly in the camera or not, but I'm gonna go back to regular size. Okay, so came over here, we got this other tree here also. One of them's an apple and one's a pear. But like I said, I've never gotten any fruit off of them anytime I've been here. There's fruit in the early season, but then they never have any in the fall. So I go back over here a little ways. There's a pink ribbons here somewhere. There's a bunch of bamboo in here. The lady's the neighbor over there is clearing out. Anyhow, I'm not going to spend time in here, but I come over here somewhere, probably past those tires. Oh, there it is, way over here. Way over there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it doesn't matter. Here we go. Here's that garbage I was saying. One day I'll have to get out of here. It looked like they had a portable garage or something along those lines, and a recliner and a sofa, some stuff like that. So the grass is all cut. The house is way over there. That's my direct neighbor, the closest neighbor. So then we come over here. You can look over here, there's garbage. Got some tires here. Got the rocks that I took out in the field stone. This area over here was all overgrown several years ago. You couldn't even get through here. There was the same deal with all the thorns and the overgrown stuff. And I thinned it out a few years ago. And when I did, I planted a few more pear trees, apple trees. They were put in over here, okay? And the deal was that I bought those from Stark Nursery, I think. And the issue, and I did the same thing, as I dug down a little bit and I put some green wood and then some dry dead wood on top, and put the dirt back on top, and I planted them. But I got those were bare root winter kind of things, and I put them in the spring, and I walked away for the whole year and didn't come back, didn't water them, and they died. So, but Ann's got some more stuff growing here. Over here there's definitely 5-gallon buckets. So he took a 5-gallon bucket, filled it with soil, turned it upside down, and put all the wood chips. Now these are going to rot. In fact, we might put a little nitrogen around them to encourage the rotting, so it'll develop some good humus for next year. But we got all these places, and that's garden soil over there and all over. So she's got her plants in here. We initially planted over here mostly, but then recognized that these beautiful trees over here shade this particular spot in mid-afternoon, late afternoon. But that hugelkultur is in the perfect spot because it gets sun all day from morning. There's nothing over there. So from the morning sun comes up over here, okay, and then the sun kind of goes along the house line, and so there's not any trees in the line of the hugelkultur. This thing gets full sun pretty much until about an hour before sunset, or an hour and a half, something like that. But this was all overgrown over here, and it got all cleaned up. This is several years ago. And this here was all overgrown, huge in here. Couldn't get through here, and I left a few trees. I got to cut off a couple stumps that I got out of here this year. There's just some wood that throwing, having a fire, and it's some wood that came out of the house. Same kind of thing, just going to burn it. So, own quite a, 20 feet into the woods over there. Here's the area we're coming up on. This area over here is the area Ann and I worked with. I've driven the tractor through there a couple times over the years, over the last 3 years, but it was way overgrown. It was all the way out to here, basically past this tree line that I have now. It was sticking out way farther than that, and it was very thick, and you couldn't get through here. And there were the thorns, and there's garbage in here, and there's all kinds of stuff. But this got all thinned out real nice. Got a few piles of wood chips. Probably throw some nitrogen on those too. Urea is what I think we'll use. I think that's the cheapest form of high nitrogen you can buy. So we're going to take some urea, or anise, and dilute it down and put it on the chips and see how that turns into soil. Because it seems like it's easier to get the nitrogen than it is to try to get any animal manure, because you got to haul the horse manure from wherever you're going to get it from, if you can get that. And there is no cow manure because everybody's got their cows grazing out in the fields, so there's no manure from that. But here, this was all, you couldn't get in this area when I got here this year either. Okay, the growth was way out here somewhere, and it was all thick. And I came in here and cleaned this up some. That's what it looked like over there. Okay, and I didn't do much, just a little bit, because the property line is over here on the other side of these woods. I mean, there's some big trees in here. I mean, I'm not going to get it. There's an old, a washing machine or something in the woods. There's some good sized trees though. And let's see here. The property line. There you go. There's a green stake over here under this tree. And this goes in line with the fence over there on the neighbors. If you can see that swimming pool way up there, well, there's a fence that's running down there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but then we got this post, and then the property goes back here another I don't know, let's say 300 feet or something like that, give or take. I don't even know if I can find the marker here. We'll give it a go anyway. This is not my land. It's easier to walk in on his. Holy shit, look at that snake. I don't know. That's not a black snake. That one's got yellow stripes on it. That could have been poisonous. Interesting though. Well, this video is getting a little bit longer than I had hoped, but got to remember to watch out for that snake on the way back. So somewhere back here, you see here, all this wood over in there, that's mine, I think, a bunch of it. So I got that. Here's the back of that other guy's house. Over there through that clearing. It's easy to get through here in the spring because you don't have all the maple brush and all the oak brush and everything. There's an old freezer or something over there. I think I'm actually over too far. There used to be a yellow line. Oh, here it is right here. Look at that. There it is. So that's the property line. So everything that way for 200 feet and everything from here to where that white stake was. And we're gonna walk that way again, okay? So all this woods over here is mine. Got some pine trees in there, I guess. I haven't even really been back there. Yeah, I cut this, I believe, a couple years ago. Maybe he did, I don't know. I've been through here before, though, on my bush hog. And I cut a bunch of branches off these trees a couple years ago to try to get through here. I was looking for my other line. And I did find it at one point. It was really kind of hard. But I found it in spring. I think maybe my wife found it. I don't remember. But it wasn't me that spotted it, I don't think. I can't even see the pink one anymore, wherever that is, way back there. But anyhow, these woods are pretty nice because they're not all snagged up with all the vines, and it's mostly pine now. So anyhow, I'm guessing it might be over to here or something along those lines. I don't remember. I'm not going to look for it now. It's too hard to see. But there is a flag back there somewhere. But this is all me. Some of that's me over there too on the other side. So that's all me. Now we're going to go back this way. We might be on his property at the moment. I'm not sure. Some old tractor tires over there. More tires over here. I joked one time that I could tell where my property began and the neighbors ended because their trees are all pretty well groomed up and you could walk around, and mine is like a jungle. Look at the difference, seriously. Look at this side over here where it's been neglected, and look at this side over here where it's been kind of managed. Big difference. Once again, this is the managed side. And then we're going to come over here to my side. Okay, so once again, we're back at that stake. Now we came back on the other side of the property now. Look at that. Okay. Well, you know what? I determined that I pasted off anyway from his edge of the property over here, this Mike's guy. And according to the plot deed that I saw, I think right here, I think this is about how far I own back here. Right here. I put that on there. I'm not surveyor or anything like that. I own way more property up there. It goes at an angle. But anyhow, it goes from here, this point, the property goes pretty much straight back at that angle, parallel to the other property line. So everything over there and over there and over there and over there for probably 400 feet is mine. Here's that area again that Ann and I worked on. Once again, trying to clean this up a little bit just to get through there a little bit. You can see the areas I haven't done and how thick these vines are and this growth in here. I'm glad I came a different way. That snake, I gotta look that up though. Look at the vines. Gosh, so many. They're everywhere. I'm not going through there. So, there's a few branches that are laying around like that one right there. They should put another one over there maybe. Got to probably do a final cleanup. But look at the grass, huh? Look at this place now. So we got all this area that's like walkable, and it's all pretty well groomed considering it is what it is. And back here there's 400 feet, I'm not sure, of woods by 200 feet. So we come up this way and there's the house over there. There's the garage. Here's that area that Ann and I cleaned up. There's that hugelkultur way over there in that other area that was got soil amendments done. There's some pecan and pear wood and some busted bricks and concrete pieces. Let's come over here towards this fire pit area. So got this fire pit area. This was kind of always here, never knew it. There used to be a huge pile of wood that was all the way over here, or junk, and I burned it slowly when I first bought the property and discovered the pit that they had here. And the wind predominantly blows that way, so if you set up a couple of chairs here, you could have a nice evening fire. And I got a whole bunch of wood to burn. That's just pretty much scrap stuff as far as I'm concerned. So grass all looks pretty good. Got the 60 something Ford 4000 and the 1960 Oliver 550. Look at this, huh? Got a pile of broken brick and some metal. There's some flowers. Here's that pear tree. That pear tree had so many suckers on it, and it wasn't ever bearing fruit, and it was, I just trimmed it up. It was like dying, and there was a spot over here that had before had been old or something. And anyway, we'll see what happens. It's probably gonna die. It's pretty dead. Look at that. Well, can you always cut it down. There's a garage, the old well house. Got the front yard over here. The driveway. Still have to deal with that big hunk of pecan wood over there. Still need to finish the front yard a little bit. But that's it.